Welcome. Today we're going to be cutting a vintage shirt. So for this shirt, I have marked my length and I also left some allowances for my buttonhole. This part I left for like 4 inches for my buttonhole. So this is for the vintage shirt. You can use more actually. This shirt is mostly unisex. Anybody can wear it. So I'll be marking my neck width first. I'm using 2.5, so I marked 2.5. At that point where I marked 2.5, I'll be slanting my tape there to 4. To where I have 4, I'll mark it at 4. I slanted my tape from that 2.5 to where I have 4. So I'm going to be marking it, like a square before I curve. So that's what I'm doing now. I'll just mark it and then curve it. Please, that 4 inches that I left is very important, and I folded it back backward. I didn't make it to be coming outside. So I'll be marking my shoulder next. The shoulder I'm using is 8.5 plus half inch sewing allowance. I'm marked at 9. For my armhole, I'm using 8. So I'll just draw the line before I curve again. So I'll curve from this part for my armhole. So that's all. So next I'll be going for my shoulder slant. Depends on how deep you want the shoulder slant to be, but I'm using just 1 inch. I'll slant it upward to meet my neck. So this is just it. Now I'll be taking my body measurement. I already folded this screw with my body measurement, so I'll just roll down. So all my allowances are on this. You can mark yours. And it's not going to be a sheet. It's a very free shirt. It's not like shapey. No, I'm not shaping anything. This shirt actually is for a guy, but women can wear it too. So I'm just cutting off my armhole, my shoulder slants, and my neck. And see the way I lifted up this part to cut, so I will know where that my 4 inches for that buttonhole allowance started from. I'll just open it so you can see briefly. So this is the way it looks. This other part is for my buttonhole allowance. So this is for the front alone. This cutting I just did now is for the front. I'll be placing this thing now I cut for the back. I'll be placing it now. Look at the way I placed it. Now I'm going to mark until I folded this buttonhole allowance inside when I'm marking it before I placed it. Please take notes. Fold it in before you, so you don't make mistakes. So you will not cut an allowance for the back as well. So I'm marking 2 inches at that shoulder slant. I'm marking 2 inches because the back is going to be longer than the front for guys. So I'm just marking 2 inches under my shoulder slant, adding 2 inches there, and then I'll rule. So I'm going to be ruling now. So that's it. Now I'm going to be sure that I have 2 inches on every side. Now that's it. So at this point where I have my armhole, I just connect that line straight down. armhole is the same, just that twin. If I mean everything is the same, it's just the buttonhole allowance folded in that is the difference between the front and the back, and the neck. So I'll be cutting it now. Please look at the way I folded this cloth too. I didn't give, it's not open. I folded it into two for the back, and I placed the front on top of it. Please take note. So I'll be cutting now. See the way I'm cutting that part. See the way I also cut the armhole. Okay, so this is for the back neck. So I'll just mark 1.5 for my back, and then I'll draw the line, and then I'll curve it. It's okay if you want to fold in and then do all that, but this clothes may not really do it that way, and it's better to do it like this since it's easier. So I'm just curving it. Then at that point I'm going to cut. Please, so if you have not subscribed, kindly subscribe to my channel and turn on your notification bell so that anytime I post a video you'll be notified. Okay, so that's all. At this point I'm just going to be marking my armhole. The sleeve length I'm using is 8, and I gave like 20 because I want to fold it in. So I just marked at 10 there. I marked, and I'm going to place again to mark another one because I want this stripe to continue. So I don't want to just fold it anyhow. So I'll be measuring my armhole, the armhole for the back. The front armhole is already shorter, so it's the back armhole that I'll use. Please make sure that you use the back armhole to measure the length of your armhole. So I used the back armhole for my clothes to measure. So at this point, see the way I folded this cloth. I folded it into two. It depends, you can still fold it into, look at this way, I folded this way. You can fold it this way, but I didn't fold it that way. I just wanted it to be one. The other way of cutting your sleeves, you can check my other videos to see how I cut sleeve. Maybe I'll just do a proper video on how to cut the sleeve. So I'm marking for where I have 4. I already checked my arm. You can check your arm this way. All right, so wherever that mark plus all your allowances, so whenever you have your allowances you can draw up. This is just the basic sleeve cutting. So there, so that's it. I'll be cutting now. So I notched the midpoint of that armhole. For the sleeve, it's ready now. So I'll keep that aside. And then I'm going to cut another one for the back. And this is usually in the men's clothes or in the guy's shirts. Anyhow, I'm notching the midpoint for that where my buttonhole started. I'll notch the upper part and I'll notch the down part so that whenever I'm folding, I'll know where it started. You can use as much as 5 inches or even 6 for that part. So right now, for that back part, I can't continue with these straight stripes. it is supposed to be horizontal, like the stripes is already straight, so at the back point it's supposed to be horizontal. The stripe cannot still be vertical at that point. So I'll just go with half of my armhole, or just use 5. So this is the way that back part is supposed to look like. I'm going to be marking it and then cut it for my back. So this is it. This is the way to look at the back. I'll cut the neck again and then I'll trim the armhole. That's the way to look for the back. Okay, let's do that together. So I'll just fold this. Look at the way I folded it. The place that has a double fold that doesn't have an opening is where I'm placing at the midpoint of the back. So I'll just trim the neck and then the armhole. Please subscribe if you have not subscribed, and thank you for watching.